Hey, welcome back everyone to D Plushies 101 Workshop. It's your host Matt here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing the history and facts of the M&M'S. So let's get right into it. So this I named called the true history of M&Ms. The facts, okay? So these are the basic facts of what happened and where they came from and all that. Number one, M&Ms were inspired by rations given to soldiers during the Spanish Civil War in 1932 after a falling out with his father and business partner, Forrest Mars, Sir of the Mars Candy Company, moved to England where he began manufacturing Mars bars for troops. So they were originally made for soldiers, basically. 2. M&M's used to be made with Hershey's chocolate, now one of Mars' biggest competitors. So Hershey's is now Mars' biggest competitors right now. 3. During World War II, M&M's were exclusively sold to the U.S. military. 4. M&M's didn't have their signature M stamp until 1950. Which is wow to me. Between 1976 and 1987, there were no red M&Ms, so there was no him. No red. No. M&Ms were the first candy to also go to space, which is very shocking in my opinion. Now we move on to the history of M&Ms. What is the story behind M&Ms, you ask? M&Ms were originally created to allow easy transport of chocolate to the military. Fact of the day, M&Ms were first introduced commercially in 1941 by Forrest Mars. Sir Forrest got the idea for the candy after observing soldiers eating chocolate pellets with the hard shell during the Spanish Civil War. Why are M&Ms called M&Ms? If it comes from the last names of the candy companies, founders Forrest Mars and William Murray, the name has stayed the same since the candy was introduced in 1941. Of course, the packaging has changed considerably since. Which M&M came first? The original M&M was plain chocolate with the signature candy shell, which came in brown, red, orange, yellow, green, and violet. Today, there are dozens of M&M flavors, including classics like peanut and peanut butter, reoccurring flavors like mint and caramel, and interesting ones like pretzel and birthday cake. The true story of the history of M&M sounds like something that came out of the Wonka factory. Anyone who considers themselves any kind of candy connoisseur has heard the phrase before and most likely indulged in the candy it's describing. Since being released to the masses in the 1940s, M&Ms have been a staple of the candy lover's diet. But have you ever wondered where the name came from? Most people believe that the famous M on the candy shell stands for Mars Incorporated, the company that produces M&Ms, but that's just half the story. The truth is there were once two famous candy makers, both whom had the initial M, who were responsible for production of the beloved candy and whose story ended in a twisted Willy Wonka Slugworth-esque scenario. In 1911, Frank C. Mars founded Mars Incorporated, a small confectionery business in Tacoma, Washington. When it came time for Frank to retire, he groomed his son to take his place, provided he spend some time overseas to learn how to start his own business. While aboard the Forrest Mars, Sir noticed British soldiers eating small pill-sized candies called Smarties, made of a chocolate center and a hard candy shell. He was shocked to see that the candies held up in the summer heat, and that they were small and easy to transport. Armed with his new knowledge appropriated from British company H.I. Rowntree and Company, he moved back to the States to claim his spot in his father's company. He secured a patent for the production of the chocolates, and unhappy with the way his father was running the company, began to seek out a partner for his new and improved candy plan. Which brings us to the second M. In M&M, Bruce Murray, like Forrest Mars, Bruce Murray was the son of a candy magnate, William Murray, the president of Hershey's, and like Forrest Mars, he didn't agree with the way his father was running his company. So he was looking for someone to team up with to change the industry. Fortunately, Murray and Mars met Mars, and the rest was history. While Mars had the patent for the candy, Murray had the chocolate. Together, they began to produce the first batches of their coated chocolate candies under a new company known as Mars and Murray, M&M for short. At first, M&M'S were sold exclusively to the U.S. Armed Forces. As the candies were heat-resistant and traveled well, the partnership was successful, and upon the GI's return home, they would sing M&M'S praises. The good reviews helped spur demand and send production to an all-time high. To this day, M&M'S continue to be included in MRE field rations for the U.S. soldiers. However, with the exciting jump in sales came a new low for M&M themselves. Murray had realized that the larger the company got, the more Mars had become a nightmare to work with. Eventually, Mars became so impatient and unbending that Murray ended up taking a $1 million buyout just to be rid of him. So just to get rid of him, he wanted $1 million. Wow. Mars subsequently brought the M&M company back under the Mars name and phased out Hershey's chocolate in favor of one under Mars' own name. In 1981, M&M's again made history when they were launched into orbit with the Columbia Space Shuttle, becoming the first candy in space. 3 years after that, they were brought to national attention again when they were named the official snack of the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. Since their rise to popularity in the 1950s, the M&M's itself hasn't changed much. The formula has remained much the same, though the colors and fillings have gone through a few changes. The original M&M's was plain chocolate with a signature candy shell, which came in brown, red, orange, yellow, green, and violet. Today, there are dozens of M&M flavors, including classics like peanut and the rest, like I said before. Though the candy is famous amongst Americans, not much is known about the candy making process itself. Mars Incorporated is still privately owned and funded, and rumors have swirled for decades about the goings on inside of the factories. Legend has it that contractors hired to repair the machines once had to be led and blindfolded, that executives would disguise themselves for meetings with competitors and outsiders, and that the decision making process was extremely cutthroat. According to Frank Mars' files, not even the company bankers had access to the financial records, a tradition that may continue to this day. The company is rumored to make over $35 billion per year, which would place them around 83 on Forbes' Fortune 500 list. Because they do not file federal tax information, they've never been included though their secrecy seems extreme, and especially Wonka Esque, their history explains it all. After all, M&M's themselves began to reproduction of a foreign candy. That's to stop someone from getting their hands on M&M's secret recipe and repeating history once more. So there you have it, folks. The history of M&M's, actually, which was surprising to me. The most surprising thing to me is they just added a different color, purple. You guys didn't know there's red, yellow, purple, orange, brown, green, and blue. So there's seven. There's seven altogether, I believe. So red, yellow, green, which is a miss, brown, which is a miss, orange, blue, and purple. Which purple is the newest one of the bunch. And I got him from the thrift store, by the way, which I love him. I'm happy that I found him, so I'm hoping I get more in the future, and I'll definitely share them with you guys. But yeah, that's the history of M&M's. Tell me what you think down in the comments below of what surprised you in this whole escalade or whatever escade of research I did. But yeah. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe and comment for more. Peace.